Lots of faces here. Ooh, let me hold that a little bit further. Welcome, everyone. A big welcome to all of you guys for joining us in person and whoever is joining us online. My name is Claudia Pagan. I'm the DC United reporter, so I'm super happy to be here with you all. After seeing that video and seeing at who's on stage, I think you guys can kind of guess what the special announcement is here today. This is a very big moment for us as a club and for the sport of soccer in our city. So again, we want to thank you for being a part of the next chapter in DC United history. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up DC United's CEO and co-chairman, Jason Leviton.
Thank you, Claudia. It's a very exciting day to be here. I realized coming over here that 4 years ago at the museum just across town, I got the opportunity to welcome Wayne to Washington, D.C. And, 4 years later, it's an exciting moment to welcome him back to his MLS home. 4 years ago, there were whispers and murmurs and some criticism that maybe Wayne was a little bit too old to help us. What's interesting is 4 years later, there's some whispers and murmurs that maybe he's a little bit too young to help us. So I think he's perfectly situated in both cases. What an exciting run we had while Wayne was with us in 2018 and 2019. And now he comes back to us with MLS experience, with great coaching experience at Darby County, where we witnessed him face a lot of adversity and really do an outstanding job. And I think it's really a tribute to DC United and to Wayne and to the relationship we built that he's back here today. When he came 4 years ago, we were about 13 points out of the playoffs. We got 40 points, I think, in our last 20 matches, which was the best record in the league during that time period. And I've told Wayne we expect the same this time. But even if we don't do as well as that, I think we're going to do quite well. I think you're going to see a real uplift in our play. I think the last couple of days having Wayne around the organization has put a pep in everyone's step. So I really just want to say, Wayne, welcome back to your MLS home. We are delighted to have you, and we are so excited about the future with you here. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. I'd like to now bring up DC United's President of Business Operations, Janina Johnson.
Thank you, Claudia. Thank you all for being here. And for many of you, you've been spending a lot of quality time here at DC United this summer. Just last month, we were obviously announcing All-Star 2023, and now today another monumental moment for our club with Wayne Rooney back at the helm for us here at DC United. As a player on the pitch, Wayne came here, brought highlight after highlight for us, and now we look forward to your leadership as our new head coach here at DC United. The representation and what you mean to our supporters in this community goes unmatched. And we are so proud to have you back at the helm. And thank you so much for being here today on behalf of the club and our ownership group. We are excited for this next step for DC United. Thank you.
And now I'd like to bring up DC United captain and a player who's been with the club since 2014 and also got to play with Wayne during his time here, Stephen Birnbaum.
Thank you. I remember, 4 years ago when we opened Audi Field, sitting on stage next to Wayne right before the first game here, and feeling that excitement and that energy that Wayne was bringing to the city and to the club. And 4 years later, I'm sitting up here with him, still feeling that same energy back here now because Wayne's back. The group's excited to have him here. We know the energy and passion that he brought as a player, and we know he's going to do the same thing as a coach. And the guys are excited to learn from him. He has a soccer IQ that's probably second to none that I've been around, and the group's extremely excited to see him uplift us. Thanks, Wayne.
And now the moment that you've all been waiting for, and really the reason that you guys are all here, DC United's new head coach, Wayne Rooney. He's actually going to come up and answer a couple questions. So I believe we have someone who will help us answer those or get those questions.
Yeah, I've seen a few articles, certainly back in England, on this as possibly a backward step in my managerial career. I really find that a bit disrespectful to this league. I feel the experience I gained at Derby County over the past 18 months has been great in my development as a coach, as a manager. And to really come here back to the MLS, back to DC United was a exciting challenge for me, something which I feel can develop me as a coach, but also the team need to improve. I think that's obvious for everyone to see, and I really believe with my capabilities of developing players, young players, of course we're working hard to get a few new players in. We can really get this club back to successful ways again, and it's going to take a lot of hard work, but that's what I'm here to do and really improve the team. Thank you.
Certainly, I know there's a lot of people happy that are here. Born and raised in England, you guys are home. Come here to the States. I don't know what your family situation is like, but you come here and stay there. Your commitment level, is this a year-to-year thing, or do you see this as a long-term thing here in Washington, even though maybe your family's back here?
Yeah, and again, I've seen that back in England as well. And of course, any major decisions I make like this is discussed with my wife. My family for the time being will stay in England and come over and visit. The ages of my children, my eldest boy's in high school now, so they will stay in England, but that's not an issue whatsoever from the family point of view. So I think being here, it's as I spoke with Jason, with Steve, with Dave, on trying to really develop this club, not only for this season, but for the future moving forward. So we're all excited. I'm excited to be here, to bring my skills. And of course, I know it's going to be a lot of hard work, which we have to put in, myself, I have to put in. The players will have to be in. I have demands, principles, which the players need to stick by. And obviously, as knowing Steve since I've been here, before, become really good friends with him. There's going to be moments where he's going to be a bit frustrated because I will be shouting at him and putting him in his place. So that's part of the job, and I'm excited to get started. Like who, sorry? I respect Luis Suarez a lot. I think as a player, he's an incredible player, but I want players who are hungry. I want players to come to this club who are hungry and who want to play for the club, but also I've got a lot to give and are capable of playing every game, training every training session. So we're working extremely hard to identify the right profile of players we want to bring in. And I'm sure within the near future we'll have some announcement to make on them players. Yeah, different of course. At Derby, working with administrators on no budget. I think it was around about 20 debut to give from the academy last season. Having to develop the young players probably sooner than was expected. So coming to a different country, a different league, a different way of working in terms of obviously the DP players, TAM players, drafts, getting to understand all that, every detail of that. So I think it's going to be different, but I think also where the players have been at this season, I believe they're underperforming. I believe there's a lot more for them players to give. The organisation has to be right for the players. They have to be hard to beat. And there's principles and a mentality which I have to make sure I put into them players so when they go on the pitch, they become a real horrible team to play against, and that's but also exciting, and that's what I'm planning on doing. Yeah, I've seen, this has happened quite quickly, so over the last couple of weeks I've watched a lot of games. I watched the last 2 games live. The last game was difficult to watch, so I think the you have to be hard to play against. And I've got a style of play, an identity of play which I believe in, and that's certainly what I'll be trying to put into the team. Because I think as a player, playing in the main of my career at the top level, you can really choose which club you want to go to. As a manager, I'm at the beginning of that journey. I'm at a point in my managerial career where I have to put the work in, I have to put the hours in. Of course, I'm an ambitious person. One day I want to manage at the top level, and this is part of that process in terms of coming here, trying to develop this club, trying to get success here, but also develop myself as a manager, and but also the connection I've got with the club. Being here before, there isn't another MLS team I would have went to other than DC United. So I'm proud to be here as manager, proud to be here and try and develop this club both on and off the field. Listen, I think we know it's going to be difficult, but of course we've got games in hand. We have to go on a good run. We know that. In order to do that, depending on how quickly the players take in the information, that's my job to make sure I get that information into the players as quickly as possible, so they know exactly how I want to play. If we can do that right, then why not? Why could we not make the playoffs? Yeah, I think there was actually a few other clubs, both in England and in Europe, who got in touch. And my plan, really, if I'm being honest, was to, after Derby County, was to take a bit of a break and then see what comes up. But once my agent called me and said that DC had come in and inquired about is there a possibility for me to come in, it was quite quick, really. It was probably within 24 hours. I spoke to my wife first, and I said, listen, there's an opportunity for me to go back to DC as coach, and I'm probably ready to go and do that now. I feel I'm ready to take that, and if of course, if my wife didn't want me to go and she said, I don't want to go out there and I don't want you to go there, then that would have been different, but yeah, I just felt I was ready to come here. I'm in a completely different place as a human being to what I was probably 4 years ago when I was here. I'm fully committed to getting the best out of myself, getting the best out of the players and getting the best out of the team. So I'm ready. It's going to be tough. It's a challenge, of course. It is, but I'm here. I'm ready to get to work and try and get this club back to being successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. On behalf of everyone up here on stage and all of DC United, we'd like to thank you again for joining us in another part of DC United history. Off to the side of the stage, we're going to do media interviews, but before that, we're going to have a group photo of everyone up here on stage. So photographers, if you guys want to move a little bit closer, we just need a minute to get the stage cleared off. Thank you, guys.